And there's a wheel. It's a wheel thing, but what is the weapon for?
Are we streaming?
Alright. So
I'm assuming we streaming. Guess we're streaming.
Mr. Diddy.
Drink your water. Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, breathe, breathe, then drink. Now, grab your glass for that water. Get that picture of that water. Lift that picture of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink, 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 drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Oh, family, move your body. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, move, move, then drink. Now, lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Lift your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink, 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 drink. Or should we say, raise, toast, then drink. Now first, listen. Take your breath and drink some water. Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. 4 pillars though, remember. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Eat culturally appropriately. Drink 50% of your weight in ounces. Take your breath though. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body. Toast your ancestors. Drink up. Family, 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 family. What's up? Hey, let me see what's going on with my dashboard. I want to welcome y'all. It's Kuumba. Of course, y'all know this is our Toast and Talk time. I think I might need to cut my Toast and Talk times because this is one of the reasons I'd be like, well, damn, I got to do my weekly shows now because I do the Toast and Talk. You know, but yo, I stay, you know, I'm trying to stay busy. I'm trying to get the people what they want. So y'all need to let a brother know what it is y'all actually want. Now, I'm going to open up the lines after we do the toast. We're going to open up the lines after we do the toast. We got a couple of things we could talk about. But, of course, the conversation is being led by you. What is it on your mind? You know what I'm saying? What do you have to share? Just, you know, just keep the bullshit to a minimum. And let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to provide you not only ears and eyes of the tribe, of the nation. We're also trying to provide you with a place where you can have your voice heard. All right. So first off, I need to remind you, and I want to remind you that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is
Gye-Nyame Journey Media.
Of course, you know this is a heart of a this is a daily toast, and this is a heart of a Simba production. Thank you. Well, we strive
to blow your own paradigm.
See, when my girls around, I ain't even got to do it. They watch us and they are learning, family. They watch us and they are learning. What are we doing regularly that our children can pick up on? You understand what I'm saying? What are we doing consistently in our lives? You know what I'm saying? Because right now, the way America is set up so that we don't have to be consistent. We don't have to be consistent. We don't have to eat. We don't have to eat the same thing consistently. We don't have to eat at the same times consistently. Everything is at our convenience, so we don't have to be consistent. What is the one thing in your life that you are doing daily that your children can reflect on? You know what I'm saying? Because what I want my children to see is the 224 self-help process in motion. Every day, in some form or fashion, whether they getting ready for school, or we getting ready to go somewhere on the weekend, or we're traveling, or we out in the woods. I'm pulling out my equipment, and I'm doing part of my 224 self-help process, right? I spend at least 2 hours on working on myself and working on my community. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. This is what we need to be about. You know what I'm saying? Because although they might be picking up a whole lot of other stuff, the things that are most consistent are the things that they more than likely will imitate. So let's keep it up, family. Let's keep it up. Let's keep it up. So y'all know it's Kuumba. I want to give all my Kuumba babies a round of applause. Yeah. So before we get into the toast, let's go on and let's do some house cleaning. First off, family, for those that are interested in some of the stuff that we talk about at Gye-Nyame Journey, and you want to learn some of the process. I keep mentioning things like 21 Day and Nguza Saba Challenge. What's up, Michelle I keep mentioning things like 224 self-help process. I keep on talking about these stories, legends, and myths, and building culture. If you want to understand what we're talking about, check out our free e-course. That's right. We're not playing. And we're going to take it to a whole nother level very soon, family. So stick with us, because we're not playing. Now, let me go on and copy. I want to post that up so that everybody can get it. These are the commercials, family, so bear with me. You know what I'm saying? Also, family, for those that are interested, we have our own merch, and we will be hopefully adding some more stuff to it today, because Miss Navita is going to be working on some offers as well. So let me go and copy that on here for you. This touch screen kind of spoiling me. So there you go right there. And last but not least, you can hit up the tip jar If you enjoy what we're doing, you want to support what we're doing, but you don't necessarily want the merch. You ain't got enough for the merch. You just want to drop a little something onto the family. By all means, family. Shit, I'm not mad. I would not be mad, because camping equipment, streaming, and all that cost us dough. And you know, I say us, but other people in my life would be like, nigga, you ain't talking about us. But we all got personal expenses that we got. And last but not least, for those that say, hey man, listen, Brother Hatim, I use Cash App. I ain't got time for all this fancy stuff that you talking about. Here you go. It's cash sign, capital G, capital N, capital J, capital M, EDIA. That's right. So now all of that is done. We can hit these ancestors up. Let them know that we in the house. And then we can start our conversation. Call lines are open. Call lines will be open after. Now watch. Somebody gonna call. After we finish the libations. We got a few things we could talk about, family. All right. Let me see. Uh-oh. All right. Let me go on and make this adjustment real quick. Because I know somebody going to call in before time. Because that's how I go down sometimes. You know. There we go. All right. So let's get it. Libation time. Or toasting time. Let's toast. So let's see what we're going to toast with today. Let's try this bottle here.
Don't toast anything.
Let's
Please.
see.
Just toast our ancestors. That's all you need to toast.
All right, so this is one of the new batches. You know, got a couple of these laying around. Let's see.
Start doing it so we can.
Oh, so underperforming, but you still see it's still producing. So it must have got used to the cap. I want to get y'all a nice little pop. One of these should have a nice little pop on it. See how I got that? My elders was having stuff and they was blowing up. I said, I got to find a way to stop the blow up. Let's see. No. Oh man. So disappointing. Let's see. One of these is mango. What about you? What you gonna do for me? This one might be hard to get out. Yeah. I might have to let this one push out on his own. Oh my God. So underperforming. But hey, we blessed to have it. All right, so family, I think this is hold on.
What? No way.
That's mango.
No.
Okay. I ain't want to toast with the mango right now. All right, but we're going to do it anyway. We already got it. So, family, first off, getting out to the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. Shouts out to Miss Shelly I. Shouts out to Amandi Ngwachi. Black Power, she say, or he. Black Power, brother, did you get my message about being a part of our organization? I don't know which organization that is. Shouts out to brother Kwame. Amadi. I don't know. Though, inform me real quick about this. Great Kuumba to brother Kwame. So family, first giving honor to the creator by whatever name you choose to call it creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that creator. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to our list of our illustrious ancestors that combine us all. You know what I'm saying? Because once they get on the list, it's up and popping. Shots out. The brother Tim, I see you out there as well. Who would be? Oh, I did see that. Freeman and Igbo. Okay, Amadi. Freeman and Igbo. I did see that. I have to look into it. But y'all in Columbus, right? Are y'all in Columbus? All right, here we go. First, Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robin and Tex, Sandra Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William, Walter, Christopher, Fanny Gaston, Eileen, Al, Chris, I'm Fiend, Cleveland, and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Avar Brown, Jenny Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Monty Q, Pittman L, No More X, Pat Mott Rob, Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusef Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman,
I just found a weapon key.
Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., J. Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulley and the Luster Brothers, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Del Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clayburg, Beatty said, well, Levita Farmer, I go so Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Deolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keechler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Johns Watson, Spell, Slimmy, Selvin Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankston, Mae Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Del Rita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martinez, Elder Amatel Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Frank Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vita Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Didi Mayonnaise, Gina Roop Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigella Paris, Elder Basiji Falani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winfrey Scattle, Barry Wilson, Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratley, Kevin Spratley, Charles Woodard, Penny Brown, Roy Lee, Printup Jr., Marion Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Cadney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa George, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nayland Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Ann Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensenball, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word, the First Stage Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox. I lost my plot. June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Boots Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Toure, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Couture, Aunt Becker, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eulin and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Hare, Tubman Kate, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Eno Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Stan Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Coper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mae Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Thomas, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Jodine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Ellington Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Liddy Green, Nathan Green, Beth Vaughn, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Remy Laura Newton, J.B. Parkey, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Bradley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Miriam Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruben Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coper, George Swan, Emania Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We got Joel Ajao, James Carswell, Roberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis, Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Poor, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shank, Lewis, Ronald Shelton Jr., Damian Topper, Stina Banks, Joseph Bingham Quincy, Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jefferson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quincy Sample, Candace Simmons, Severin Clayton, Leonard Jones, Sade Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., Melder Clarence Lumpkin, Elizabeth Johnson, Frank Smith, Stacey Trice, Lisa Goray, Nathaniel Hassan Turner, Khalid is in transition, Nigel Turner, Demetrius Lewis Flint, Alberta Woods, Geneva Simmons, Daniel Tilley, Angeline Gant, Sharifa, Oscar Kane, Audrey Gripper, Dominique Nichols, Ruth Elaine Johnson, Teresa Sambu, Aunt Maxine, Uncle James, Henry Monga III, Tamara Dowdy, Nicole Harris, Julia Taylor, Richard Bozeman II, Ruth Carter, John Carter, Mr. Thornton, Johanna, DeSandra Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry Essex II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Aulauti Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan Hakeem Nkomo, Alberta T. Davis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, Dr. Creamy Mackey, Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, Johnson Carl White, Desi Woods, Chilar Woods, Lennox, Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Ann Wright, Richard Dorsey, Annie Simpson, Jamara Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Nettie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Ethel Marshall. Family, we raise up our glass to all of our ancestors and we salute and we say, Ashe. Make sure nobody is tuning in on YouTube because these things, sometimes they don't connect. All right, so we raise our glass up to our ancestors. Blessing the path upon which we walk. Our ancestors are constantly with us, guiding us, protecting us. Family, it's going down here, right? It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. So, from there, family, we move to the present moment. Right now, in the present moment, I want to salute all of the Kuumba babies. Brothers and sisters. Some of you may be wondering, Brother Hatip, what do you mean Kuumba baby? Each of us was born on a day of the week. Our ancestors have come up with a system in which we could find out a lot about ourselves just by the day that we was born on. Of course, after watching the sunrise and the sunset for eons, we were able to look at certain things and certain signals and pick up certain patterns. And there's certain patterns that go along with each individual that are born on a day. Now the question I have to ask is, what day were you born on?
I don't know.
Well, you are a Ujima baby. Gina is a Kwabana baby, or better yet, a Kuji Chaglia. Her name would actually be Amina. She's a Kuji Chaglia baby. Cleveland is a Imani baby. So, you know, your mama is a Kuumba baby. So we do have one Kuumba baby in this house. But family, knowing these things, right? You know what I'm saying? This is some of the stuff that we need to really start discussing, because our ancestors have already paved the path for us. It's just a matter of us rediscovering it, digging in, and doing that wisdom mining and extracting that wisdom so that we could use it in our daily lives. Many of us are going through shit that our ancestors have already gone through, especially when it comes to this relationship shit. We got to be clear about that. Kwame as the Kuumba man all day long. Kwame, go ahead, Kwame. That's what I'm talking about. So family, in the moment is all we really have. We never wake up in the past. We never wake up in the future. We are active in the moment. This moment right here is what separates us from everything else in the universe, because we are aware of the moment that we are in right now, and we have all power to make the changes that we need in our personal lives so that we can affect not only our future generation, but we can uplift our ancestors. This is why we do the daily toast, because we want to remind ourselves that we have a responsibility. We have a pact with our ancestors. We have a promise to keep for our future generations. And all that has to be done in the now, right now. You know what I'm saying? So what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? The question, what are you doing? Maybe that's what we might need to discuss. That could be one of the subjects if somebody want to call in and share what they're doing, right? I will open up the call lines right after we get done with this. So family, I want to lift up our glass and we want to toast this moment. And for those that are not familiar with this moment, in Kuumba, I want you to activate your reticular formations in your mind, in your brain. I want you to seek out Kuumba everywhere. Take pictures of it. Post it up on our timeline, on Gye-Nyame Journey, on the page. Not in the group, on the page. Post up hashtag Kuumba, hashtag Kuumba found. Now, for those that don't know what Kuumba is, that don't speak the language, Kuumba means creativity, family. Right? So we're out seeking creativity. And it's deeper than just a motherfucker rapping. It's deeper than just somebody. Creativity, it flows in many ways in many of our lives. Some of y'all are very creative in the kitchen. Why don't you post up a picture of one of the creative meals that you do? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing in what context, please? What? We toasting. Naveen Nelson? Don't start no trouble, Quabbin. Oh, that's my fault. Abina, don't cause that's a Coochie Chocolate baby there. Causing confusion. Anyway, so we lift up our class family to the present moment, and we say, Ashe. From the present moment, family, if we keep our word in the present, we don't have to worry about our children, because we will knock down all of the obstacles that need to be knocked down. Of course, there's going to be some new ones, but of course, they're going to be able to have the skills and the wherewithal to get through it, especially if we're leaving and cataloging our wisdom to pass on to them. You understand what I'm saying? So we raise our glass up for our children, our children's children, on to infinity. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to all of our relations, and we toast all of our relations out there and in here. We toast them and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? We go to that selfish toast. This is your time. Your time. Your time. What is you need in this moment right now to move towards the greater you? The best you. Lift up our glass for that. We say, Ashe. From there, family, I move to the greatest, the most magnificent, the most beautiful, the most enlightening, the most inspiring individual in the house right now. And you know who that is? That's you. We toast you and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe.
Family, I wish you peace, power, and joy.
At 100 years.
At 100 years. And as we say in Gye-Nyame, K-in.
K-in, can we go to the woods?
Can I finish my show?
Yes, sir. After we go in the...
I ain't saying we go
in the woods.
I'm not saying anything about going to the woods. I'm doing my show. So family, I'm opening the lines right now. Opening lines right now. We call in, conversate what you want. The brother with the gun club. Call in and let us know about this gun club, my friend.
You are the first participant on this
Amadi.
video conference. Please hold while we wait for the others to join.
If he's still online, go and hit us up. Alright? So, alright, now, lines are open. Lines,
This call is being recorded.
Somebody's in.
Oh my God, Boise.
What's going on?
Tim, didn't you say you had a question you asked that you was going to ask after the lines open? What was the question that you said you were going to ask people that we could maybe discuss?
I don't remember. You gotta catch me in a moment.
You said, what are we doing? What are we doing? And I was asking you in response to that, what are we doing was the question you asked. I'm saying, in what context are you asking? What are we doing as far as what?
I can't remember the context.
I know you was doing the Daily Toast.
Right. I'll be in the mode, baby. You gotta catch it. You gotta catch it. You can't, I'll be flowing. You gotta catch it. But it was probably in the moment. What are we doing in the moment to move forward? I don't know. I can't remember the context in which I said it. I'll be flowing. I'm sorry. This is an unscripted show.
It's okay.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't.
I got you. Mm-hmm.
Somebody review the show and let us know what the hell I was talking
about. I'm like, what are we doing as far as what? But anyway, did you mention the mall?
And speaking of that, family, we will be having the mall, the G&J Mall, next Kuumba. Exactly 7 days from now, at exactly this time. Perfect timing to be there. Exactly this time, the mall will be popping off next Kuumba. Right? At 12 noon, from 12 to 6 p.m. Come on out, family. Come on out. And like I said, there's going to be plenty of stuff for you to go and look through and get, and plenty of conversations to be had. So come on out and support the G&J Mall. We're going to be launching a commercial later on today. That's the plan. Also, at exactly 12 noon, a lot of y'all probably got another text from Brother Hot Tim, as well as some emails. The newsletter has been launched at last. It was whooping me, man. Let me give myself a round of applause. There you
go.
Newsletter whooped me. Had me on the ropes. I didn't know what was going on. But we pushed through, fam. We finally pushed through, and it's coming out. And speaking of that, for those who have certain skills or certain talents, things you want to share, by all means, you can hit us up and get an article in the newsletter. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I'm calling it news magazine because I got too many damn pages. Because part of it, what we do is we throw up some of the stuff from our Facebook timeline as well, and throw a little extra discussion on there. And speaking of my Facebook timeline, so yesterday, it's this dude by the name of Bet David. He got a show called Valuetainment, and I think he runs something in the insurance industry. I'm not sure, but he did an interview that I was at first. I'm like, I ain't gonna watch this shit because I'm like, man, yeah. It's certain things that turn me on, certain things that don't. But every now and then I go and I listen, right? So let me find who he was interviewing yesterday. He was interviewing this dude by the name of Sammy Gravano. Anybody familiar with him? Also known as Sammy the Bull.
The gangster? The gangster?
Yeah,
I'm familiar with Sammy the Bull. He returned state's evidence.
Yeah.
He was a snitch. Yeah, Sammy the Bull Gravano. Okay, yeah, I'm very familiar. Yeah.
All right, so he did an interview with Sammy the Bull. Now, Sammy, let me say this. This motherfucker was breaking shit down. It's up on the timeline. I put it up. I even had to throw the hashtag ADOS on there because at the 2 hour mark of the interview, this motherfucker, this motherfucker broke down reparations. I swear to God.
What?
He said You can look at the 2-hour mark, almost at the 2-hour mark. He's talking about he was sitting in the whirlpool. Well, first off, the Bet David asked him, well, what could have been done in your life to make your life different and blah, blah, blah. And you know what I'm saying? And you always going. So he kind of went off on him, right? Because he like, shit, opportunities and blah, blah, blah. And then he starts saying, because I know the system was set up against people like me, blacks and Hispanics, Italians, blacks and Hispanics and shit. And the whole system is rigged against us. So he started talking, and he said he was sitting in the whirlpool when he was working out. And 2 white people were sitting in the whirlpool talking about immigrants and how we need to give them licenses and how we need to give them medical care. And he said in there, he took about as much as he could. And this is what he said, I quote. He said, you don't mind if I throw my content into your conversation, do you? He said, well, both of y'all racist. He said, what you mean? We didn't mention black people. He said, I don't give a fuck whether you mention black people or not. And you're right, you didn't mention black people, because all this time you sitting up here talking about giving immigrants free shit when we got black people who were forced over here, that in your conversation you never brought up the point that we should do anything for them. I said, well, goddamn. All right. Give him a round of applause, goddamn. Round of applause.
Okay.
Cause you don't hear that shit on. You know what I'm saying? It's like I wasn't ready for that. But the other reason why I do listen to a lot of these Bet David's pieces, because he interviews a lot of gangsters, right? And what I'm really interested in is the La Cosa Nostra piece, right? Our thing. Type thing. I'm interested in that. Why? Because a lot of people, y'all just get caught up in the guns and the dope and the money. I'm caught up in the culture. What is it that allows a group of individuals to come together in supposed secrecy and do some shit for their people? How do they do it? What are the rules? You know what I'm saying? I love studying culture, and I believe that somewhere along the line, some shit in us got broke. And I'm looking, and I'm searching in our ancient shit as well as all the modern shit around me for a way to try to repair it. Because some of the shit we doing is totally unacceptable. Totally. So he dropped some jewels on that shit too. It was a bomb ass interview. I'm about to go and after I get done with this, I got a few other things I got to listen to, but I'm going to listen to that shit again because he broke some shit down. You know what I'm saying? So you got something, Sister Navita? Any call in number 614
556
55. Thank you, Sasha. I had a brain fart.
4535.
Y'all heard her. It's 614-556-4535. Call in number 614-556-4535. We got a brother out there that's part of the Huey Newton Gun Club. Gonna call in and let us know about the gun club, right? Other people out there with certain skills, call in, talk about your business a little bit. It's Toast and Talk Kuumba. Don't waste it, because you never know how many people going to listen to it later. You never know how many people going to listen to it later.
Probably none.
Huh?
Probably none.
All right, Sasha, that's why I be telling you, you will not have your show until you learn how to control that mouth. You're not funny. I'm sorry. Real life at Gye-Nyame Journey. Call that number 614-556-4535. Yesterday, we ended the show listening to Rashawn by Storm 9000 and Eddie Baird. I sent Eddie a text. He ain't hit me back yet. But I'm going to get Eddie Baird on the show. We're gonna have a real chop up. So I mean, cause like I said, he is of the hip hop generation, but he's a jazz musician. So he's really into hip hop. So the conversation is definitely gonna be worth listening to when me and him start breaking the wing, because he's gonna break down some shit. You know what I'm saying? As far as music and movement and involvement of different artists, as far as the development of the music to where we are right now. See, because musicians see things a little bit differently. That's why Shaka call in. It's like, we'll start talking about one thing and Shaka come in on a whole nother point, and musicians see shit differently. So I definitely want to interview him, and maybe we are lucky enough we might be able to get Storm 9000 on the show and a couple of other people in Columbus, because a lot of times we be sleeping on some of the greatness that we got walking through this goddamn city. Like Kwame ain't really told y'all his whole story, and it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Hell, Navita ain't told y'all her story. I'm just trying to get people to understand that family is story that hold family and culture together. And if we don't tell the stories, guess what? We take the glue with us to our graves. Shame on you, goddammit. Shame. Shame, shame. I wish I had that song on. Shame, shame, shame.
Shame.
Thank you, Sasha. That might have been kind of funny. Give her a round of applause, y'all. All right. So we got the mall coming up. Oh, also family, those that are new, make sure you join the Black Signal. Text G&J, the letters G and J to 25456. It should be at the top of your screen right there. We have some people on Spreaker. Let me go on and make sure they know what the call-in number is. Want to make sure they know. Some of y'all, like I said, once again, some of y'all got the text for the e-newsletter or the e-magazine. Make sure you share that. You know what I'm saying? Like and share. We got to spread the word. The video I did with Elder Kaba and Brother Phil, both of them older than me, by the way. It's over about 4,200. I asked y'all to help me get it up to 5,000. Family, y'all deserve a round of applause for that. So y'all been pushing that shit. Well, at least most of y'all. Because I found out somebody ain't seen the video yet. I ain't gonna say no names though. But anyway, all right, let's see what else going on here. She deserved the obligatory glaps on that one. Nah, don't boost up her head, Kwame. I got a little problem around here. I got young lionesses running around this motherfucker, right? So, I have to, gotta do what I do. But family, if there's no call-ins or nothing like that,
we'll have to leave.
Yeah, we're gonna have to leave. My daughter's got plans. I guess they got plans for me today. But we only have 43 minutes, so I'm gonna hang in there for a couple minutes to give y'all an opportunity. I'm quite sure something will pop up beforehand. Navita, you still online?
I still gotta make her those eggs.
Oh, she got us on silent, so she's still online. And we want to send energy out to Navita for her to get well, as well as Kwame. Kwame, I hope the drink is doing you well as well.
Mom,
Family, like I said, I only got one more gallon of mango ginger. That's what I got, mango ginger. If anybody out there want it, y'all need to get in touch with me as soon as possible. Because if not, I'm going to drink this shit up. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? Now, going back to the culture piece. Going back. So, this weekend, Hotep, blessing, sending a positive energy away for healing and spiritual growth and protection. Thank you, John Henry. Sending that out to all the family that might be suffering from something out there. And family, let me say this to you. Because this is the key point for us at Gye-Nyame. Family, When we pour or we do our toast, we're not performing. This is real stuff, right? And I'm challenging everybody. You need to be looking for, when you are involved with this process, as far as just this daily toast, and as well as the 224 self-help process. Now, maybe that's what we was talking about, Navita. What, far as developing who you are, developing yourself, what are you doing to do that on a daily basis? Because your enemy is fighting you on a daily basis. In Gye-Nyame, we only ask you for 2 hours that you dedicate to developing you and developing and building your community. I know we need more than that. I know some of y'all going to say that. So don't even say that right now. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is what you can get, because most of y'all we got to eat to live. So y'all got to get out and y'all got to hustle. Then you got to come home and then you got to get your sleep and stuff like that. But I'm saying for at least 2 hours a day, what are you doing to bring yourself into line, to bring yourself into power, to become a better being? And all that we asking for is that you do 2 hours a day, because what start to happen is once you get to the 2 hours, you start finding out that 2 hours ain't enough. And you start adding to it. You start going over. We got Dua. Thanks, my brother. Shouts out to Mr. He's saying thanks to you, brother John Henry. Oh, I'm sorry. My brother says still waiting for your call. My God, that was over 3 weeks ago. So I got it. I'm gonna try to keep it in my mind when I get off of here. Brother America, I want the mango ginger tomorrow, please, brother. I got it. If you want to get it today, where you at? You know what I'm saying?
I'll remind you. Just
all right,
a little
cool.
question.
If you want it today,
What he said.
I'll get it to you, because I know today is your busy day. So, Chief Elder. All right. So, family, let's see. Just what are you spending? How are you developing yourself? How are you developing your community? How are you building? You know what I'm saying? What are you spending your 2 hours on? Y'all see, mine's just kind of public. I'm doing this. I'm doing I do at least an hour a day, and then I got another hour a day of doing work and stuff. I'm doing research and finding information about what we doing. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, Elder John Henry, why don't you call in? 614-556-4535. We can chop it up. You can tell people about what you do as well. All right? So, and like I said, the brother from the gun club, we already got Navita on. And, you know, and you ain't tell us about what happened. Shouts out to Miss Emily. Is that, where's that at? It ain't popping up on the chat. See, this is what I'm saying. These chats be acting real funny. Real funny. Crazy. All right, we got Sister Emily Mendoza. Good morning, brother. It's time for Sweat in California. You will be in my prayer. Oh my God. Man, I would love to be in the sweat right now. Woo. All right. The number is 6. Here, let me type in the number. 614-260-61. Hey, once again, that's what I'm saying. Real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Never know what she's gonna say. 614-556-4535. 614-556-4535. It's me, Naichi, companion with friend. I know who you are. How you doing, Miss Emily? Tell my brother Naichi I said, what's up? So, and brother Tim, go on get with me, man. I get it out to you because I'm about to hit them. I'm about to hit them streets. So the number is 614-556-4535. Once again, 614-556-4535. Family, those that want to support, hit us up on the tip jar. Now, check this out. Those that are live right now, the best way to catch us right now is gnjmedia.live. In that feed, when you go there and you start making comments and stuff, you are automatically entered into the different contests, at least on that thread. And if you sign up or become a subscriber through that thread, when they take you to YouTube, you'll start gaining points. And as those points start to build up, I'll be able to start sending out stuff. Like, cause right now, the first one, I kind of made it too high. I know it's too high. I know some of y'all like, that's too many goddamn points, Brother High Tim. But shit. All right. Right now, Miss Virgo, but Miss Virgo should have more than 60 points. That's why Navita got 45. I myself only have 16. Miss Regina Johnson, who is Ujima baby, or known as a Ya, got 15 points. See, let's see. Brother Kwame got 5. Gina got 10. So, I mean, you know, and there's things that you can do to get points. I just have to be I gotta be clear about that. I'm going to lay out the rules, and I'm gonna make it possible for other points to be received, right? For all those out there that do want to hit the donate, I am going to post up the tip jar when you call in. When you call in and when you be typing in, like just simply typing in, what's up? I mean, actually just tuning in for a certain period of time, you get points. And then also when you make comments, you get points. I'm going to increase the amount of points that I give to the people that make the comments. Once again, the number is 614-556-4535. Elder John Henry, call on in so we can go on rapid taste a little bit. All right. Also, for those that like the Cash App, it's Cash Shine, capital G, capital N, capital J, capital M, small EDIA, Cash, G&J Media, capital G, capital N, capital J, capital M, Media. All right, so also we need to get some of this merchandise moving, family. Now, I got a few more things I got to get. My daughters want to get that bean bag. So.
Yeah, baby.
But I bet you I ain't willing to get it for Christmas. Even though, you know, we do Kwanzaa. I do Kwanzaa.
So I can get it on 3 years later. So
you say what?
I want a phone, so I'm getting that on when I turn 8. So yeah, I'm getting the bean bag when I turn 8.
How you know what you're getting when you turn 8? You can't determine. You can't determine what you getting. Your birthday?
Yeah,
okay.
It's gonna be my birthday.
Welcome, welcome. Who am I talking to?
Thank you. This is Shelly I.
What's up, Miss Shelly I? What's going on? Thank you for calling in.
Oh, thank you for having your show. You've been working so hard for so long, and I know Navita's been helping for so long. Y'all doing such a great job. I've watched y'all grow. I don't get to get on here as much as I'd like to, but I'm really proud of you all. And every time I have an interview, I don't care what city it's in, it doesn't matter. Like, I always mention the work that you're doing.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Now, we also have a call from 843 from South Carolina. Who that?
Yes, sir. This Chief Elder Minister John Henry. How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. All right, so we got Sister Shelly I. Shots out. We're going to give her a round of applause. And we also got Elder John Henry as well. Nurse Reeves is on the line, keeping the show popping. So, So, Sister Shelley, you called in, and
Oh my gosh.
give me 1 second. Let me ask Elder Henry, what's going on, sir?
Man, everything blacktastic, man. I just wanted to state that, man. It's an honor and pleasure to finally get a chance to chat with you. I had watched one of the videos on the Phil Matthews show when you're dropping the jewels. And I know that our ancestors calling all of us together collectively, even though we are in different parts of the world, different cities and states. So I had to reach out to you and tell you that I appreciate everything that you are doing, and that to let you be aware of who I am as well. I'm the chief elder minister of the New Gullah Geechee Village coming to Georgetown, South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And we are working on a self-sustaining community for our people here in South Carolina. I also have put and created an economic development plan for our people here in South Carolina to create over 5,000 jobs and build over 5,000 homes as well. Now, this economic development plan is targeting us specifically because of the history here in South Carolina with the rice fields and the cotton fields that made South Carolina as rich as it is today. It's time for us to get either reparations or some kind of check delivered to us as soon as possible. I am not letting down on this one. I have a couple groups, several groups that is backing me up. One of them is the CBMP, which is the Collective Black People's Movement out of Atlanta. And I have other kind of groups is coming in too as well. AU is definitely coming in on the scene. AU is the African Union located in Washington, D.C. So this is what the chief elder is putting out there on the table. It's time for us to start thinking about economics. I'm tired of hearing about the conscious community doing this and doing that, and that they're talking about history and everything. That's okay. But let me say something respectfully. Our ancestors left a blueprint and chemist on the walls for our survival and for the time that we are battling right now. So we don't have to really focus on our history until after this war is over, because there's a spiritual war going on and there's a physical war that's going on. So we have to set a better standard for ourselves, our family, and our community if we're going to be able to survive what is coming down. I have to speak and bring it straight. I'm also looking to contact with Philip Matthews and go on his show as well, respectfully, because the time that we are in, we're not dealing with human beings. We are dealing with these Caucasoids, these reptilians, and these Anunnakian children. And they're not even playing. Every time my feet hit the floor, I make these enemies tremble in their stomach because they can't touch me, because I'm backed by over 6 million of our ancestors that didn't make it across the shores here in North America. So I stand with the authority to speak the way that I speak and to bring the warning, not only to our oppressors, but to our people as well. It's time that everybody step up to the plate and be willing to sacrifice it all, because we're going to leave here. It all depends on what way you're going to leave here. And I'm tired of seeing on the news and on Facebook, every time I turn around, our children being cut down like dogs in the streets, and we just ain't connecting the dots that there is genocide going on right now. You see what I'm saying? And I'm calling out all our black so-called leaders, because see, when the ancestors give you something, they give you something show enough. And I can't sit by day to day and don't do anything. My job, my mission is to be on the front line 24/7, and also to pave a way for the people that wants to be on the right side of the fence. I understand that everybody is not going to be awakened at the same time, but the information, as long as people keep seeking for truth and understanding, then they'll find it. But if they're not seeking a better way and a better life, because this enemy is not playing this time. They see us developing. They see us creating good and positive things. You see what I'm saying? But we have to make sure that we set a better standard, because we don't have an army to have our best interests so that we can be a threat. You see what I'm saying? But we are a threat anyway just because we think consciously. And whatever we project in our reality, that is our existence. And that's why we created, me and my queen, created this economic development plan for the state of South Carolina.
All right.
And it's our time. It's our time to rise up. It's our time to be self-sufficient. We have, and you can quote me on this, we have until 2020 to claim our sovereignty and our nationality. And if we claim African American, you're going to set yourself up in another cage. Let me repeat that. If you claim yourself as an African American, you're going to set yourself up to be housed and locked up on the real.
All right. So wait. So hold on, slow down. First, let me ask this.
Yes.
Because you come with the term chief elders. Now, I come from a tradition where I have to ask.
That's right.
I have to ask, how did you get the title? How did you attain the title of chief elder?
I have gained the title of chief elder through the National Black Council of Elders 6 years ago, where I had that committee.
All right. It's called, say it again. The National Council of Elders. National Congress of Elders. All right. Now,
No, the National Council of Elders.
all right. And
we went through. I went through the rituals and the whole ceremony. Matter of fact, there was 100 elders that was added to that list, and we was asking them to step up to the plate because honestly, I just turned 59.
you said 59?
We had, and I'm gonna just mention, I just turned 59 Wednesday. Let me explain. And we're just going back about 5 or 6 years ago. We had Professor James Small on the list. We had Dr. Leonard Jeffries' name on the list. And we had several others on that list as well to step up to the plate to claim that position as chief elder. Since no one has stepped up and they know my position, and so I was anointed and appointed, to take this position. Not only by them, but by a vision from my ancestors had put it in my spirit. Because see, a lot of people, they don't know their mission. Why are you here? You see, and so everything fell in place. No one standing up to the plate or couldn't for this reason or that reason. So we went through the libations and the ceremonies, and they welcomed me to that seat. And I carried that seat for 2 years straight until I start putting the hammer down, because I seen that there was some agents on these calls. And these calls that we was on, conference calls, for 2 years straight, from 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock at night. And we had some of the best scholars that come in and do a speaking. on our cause. So after we did, and my crew had done extensive research, and I can't put this person's name out there like that, but we found that that person was discriminating against females. And see, our platform, or so I say my platform, is based on the 42 principles of Ma'at, which is the original. So anything else that came after that is a copy or a clone. And so I had to bring what the spirits of our ancestors had put inside me, divinely. And I'm talking about an intervention that some people cannot recognize unless they raise their vibrations and their frequency level up to a higher standard.
All right, so are we talking about what is called the NCOE, National Council of Elders, that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Y'all can look it up on Facebook. They have a Facebook page as well. All right, so now,
yes, sir.
so now you said something about if those of us that are claiming African American, if we don't get it straight by 2020, there's going to be some major issues. Can you go a little bit more into that?
Yes, when I'm speaking to claiming our nationalities by 2020, I've been putting this information out for the last year and a half. I have done extensive research over the last 10 years. And some of the people on this call may not see exactly what's going on with these driver's licenses. They're changing all driver's licenses over to the state. You see what I'm saying? All this is falling up under depopulation of the earth and the New World Order. And that is one government, one religion, and one system. And so up under that, they changing the ID cards. Now, for instance, I could just say what's personal to me that I see, and then I know what other people is telling me. With the driver's license changing over to a federal license, and my driver's license don't expire until 24. So I got a year if I choose to go ahead and change my license over to a federal driver's license. I say, well, I ain't going into none of your federal buildings and none of your federal courts, so why should I change? You know what I'm saying? And my privilege. But it's not really a privilege because everything is up under corporationship. So, and that's another topic. But getting back to the driver's license, these new driver's licenses will have your picture on it, and over the picture of the individual will be a star. That star will identify you, with the authority to go into maybe a prison or a federal office building or something like that. So they really tighten the hold on people to even travel. A good brother named Tyrese, the one that made that movie Hidden Colors, when they came out with Hidden 5, he was on his way to London to do the premiere airing of that.
Right.
And he didn't have that driver's license. You see what I'm saying? / ID. Don't you know they wouldn't let him fly out of the United States?
No, they didn't let him fly.
So
Wait, stop. They didn't let him fly because London would not allow him into their country. It wasn't because of the ID he had. He wasn't allowed to trade. He wasn't allowed to travel to where he wanted to go.
That's true too. But it was more fact of he could have flew anywhere else. But see, this is one of my points that I'm making. That star, and I might have, if I just choose to fly, you see what I'm saying? Everything that's falling up under this is targeting people that's standing up for our liberation as a people. And that is awakening our people with different information as well. So it's a lot of things. It's just not just one category that's falling up under that driver's license. You see what I'm saying? It could be a ton of reasons. You see what I'm saying? It could be a reason that you're an ex-felon, or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So
I mean,
I'm
now
just sticking with the two basics.
already, if you are a felon, you can't get a passport to travel anyway, in most cases. If you owe for child support, you can't get a passport to travel. Now, he could have went to other countries that would accept him because countries have the right to defend their borders. So they could tell you that you're not allowed to come to their country
right.
if you have a passport. It's not about the license piece.
That's
now,
right.
I'm looking at the website for the elders, and I'll get back to that in a second. But let me ask this. So you spoke about nationality. So what should be the proper nationality that black people should identify as?
As far as my recollections at this time here
Sasha.
is indigenous people. You see what I'm saying? Melanated people. But see, this is why it's so important that we separate ourselves. Just like years ago they had the thing separating church from state. We need our own standing grounds. We are the original people of this earth. Anybody got any claims to this earth is us, because we are the seed of the descendants. You see what I'm saying? So we don't need to ask any government agency for anything. Because as long as we're going to ask our government for anything, we automatically giving them power over control. Now, you can connect that with everybody's birth certificates belonging to corporations and the straw man, because we are considered as property and not even human beings. So this is what takes a lot of people to do a lot of extensive research on what's going on and how this is going to affect everybody personally. You feel what I'm saying, Elder?
I hear you. I'm not an elder yet.
Brother, you're an elder. You just ain't claim it yet.
Now this is the issue. For me, as far as Gye-Nyame, I have a certain protocol that I have to go through in order to become an elder, as well as my extended family. I have not reached the age limit. See, because a lot of stuff that you're talking about, as far as, like, for example, there are several councils around the country of elders. So I was looking up yours so that I could see if there's some connection, right? So, because for me to even be able to say chief elder out my mouth, right? I had to be able to be clear upon who bestowed this upon you. What is your line? What is your lineage? Right? So, like I said, for example, I have individuals in the line that I'm going through that have been doing work at least here and in some cases nationally for a very long time. And I don't see none of those names on the list that of the NCOE. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't, that right there. Now, let's get back to the nationality piece. So what nationality is the country under which you are. Nationality, nation. That's the nation.
Nationality is what your culture is. Your nationality.
So what culture?
Like before we became awakened, we say, oh, we African American. Yeah, we African and American. You know what I'm saying? And our ancestors from Africa. But when you claim your nationality, that's who you are.
So who are we?
Your birthright.
Okay. So who are we in America that have been here 6 and 8 generations?
Yes. Yeah, that takes a little bit further, more investigation, because, see, I know I talk to a lot of Moors, and they want to say, well, we need to claim indigenous people. You see what I'm saying? And I say, okay, that's cool. So I do a little research on that, you know what I'm saying? But then I see how the Moors respectfully, our brothers, you see what I'm saying? How y'all back when had civilized these Europeans in some kind of way that y'all fell victim either by the Vatican or the Roman Catholic Church, and y'all lost y'all status. You see what I'm saying? But see, the time that we are living in now, right now, today, in 2019, you know, there's a lot of councils out there, and that's good. I'm not discriminating on no one. So, but what I'm representing, if there's one out of 100 that shows worthy to hold that title and that responsibility, you see what I'm saying? Let that person come forth, because we don't have time to shuck and jive and say, I'm with this clique, I'm with that clique, you know what I'm saying, I'm with that denomination, because at the end of the day, when you close your eyes, when we close our eyes, we see darkness. You see what I'm saying? So, but it's what an individual do once their eyes are open and they can see through the veil. They can see through the facade of what's going on and what's happening. It really don't matter who you are, it's what you're doing.
Now,
you see what I'm saying? I've been on this front line for over.
That goes against what you just said as far as nationality. You see, it kind of clashes. See,
yeah, it is kind of clashy because, see, just like what you're saying respectfully, you know what I'm saying, we don't have time to debate this or that. When we at war, let's win the battle first.
I can dig that.
My plain objective is overcoming this battle. You see what I'm saying? When I transcend, I'll finish the battle on the other side. You see what I'm saying? Right now, what is the three elements? And I'm not getting off the subject. What is the three elements that sustains human life on this planet? That's food, water, and air. If all three of those is contaminated, what is life expectancy on this planet for us? Anybody, human beings. You see what I'm saying? And all three of those elements are contaminated. We have GMOs in the food, we have the chemtrails in the air, and ain't no telling what's in the water. You see what I'm saying? I don't care if you have alkaline water. I don't care if you a vegan. It doesn't matter if you growing your own food. If you ain't growing your own food in a controlled environment, you see what I'm saying? That you cleaning and filtering the water and the air, and you got the best compost, you up under an illusion. Now, and I have to say it the way it is.
Right, but Elder.
Because all the soil, yes.
So, now, because this is what I'm saying. Because one minute you're saying we got to claim our nationality. In the next breath.
Yes, sir.
In the next breath, you saying that we all the same. So don't, now, this is the piece, because our people right now, we're confused about a lot of things. This nationality argument,
yes, sir,
is one of the major pieces. It's one of the major pieces that get us caught up. Now, nationality is, you can't say that's part of the cultural piece, right? So that means that those of us that are in America have an American culture. And that culture is allowed to prosper because it fits within a nation. Nationality talks about what nation you belong to. Not just the culture, because in a nation you can have several different cultures. So, as a black people,
yes, sir,
what is the nationality that we need to put down? Because you can't put down melanated. You can't put down all this other. What is the nationality that we could claim? Because that's one of the issues that you started off with when you started talking. And we got to be very clear about that. Like, for example, let me be clear. For me, one of the issues that I push on my show all the time is this concept of ADOS, American Descendants of Slavery. Not slaves, but Americans descendants of slavery. Because you mentioned reparations,
Right.
or some type of check. In order for us to be able to get this, we have to be able to identify first as Americans. And then we also got to identify with the claim from which we are launching. We are descendants of the individuals that built and laid the foundation for this damn country. So it makes it easier for us to claim, because a lot of other people want to go and battle white supremacy, but you can't take white supremacy to court in no motherfucking place. Excuse my language. But I can take America. I can take, my group can take America to court for them not protecting the rights of their citizens. 100%. We are citizens of this country. Now, I don't know about my Moorish or all my other people out there that don't claim it, but I'm definitely claiming it. Because I built this country. I ain't going nowhere. I might go somewhere for a vacation, but my ancestors built this country. Period. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to innovations in growing tobacco, rice, and cotton, that was me. When it came to innovating the trains and possibly laying the tracks, that was me. When it came to laying the expressways, that was me. When it came to building a lot of the structures that are the basic foundation of this country, and a lot of and making it possible for this country to move into the industrial revolution in the way that they did, that was me. And I want my money. You understand?
Yes, sir. I see.
Because this is what we got to get. Because a lot of times, sometimes we get so deep with what we're doing, and we jump right over our culture. Because it's like this: we don't even have to go to the walls in Kemet. Our ancestors left us messages right here, just in the folk tales that come from the soil. I'm quite sure you got tales, being from the South, you got tales that your grandparents told you, that if you was just to apply the very lessons within those tales, you would be able to overcome a lot of your stuff. All right, peace out, Kwame.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, not to neglect our connection, but a lot of times we're going to jump all the way back to Egypt. We're going to skip over West Africa. We're going to skip over the Middle Passage, and we're going to skip over all of the ancestors that made it possible for us to be able to do the research that we're doing right now.
No, sir. And see, I agree with you 100%. See, up on the chief elder, see, my grandmother and her mother is from South Carolina, which was a Gullah Geechee village.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm chief elder over the new Gullah Geechee village because I know you heard of Queen Quet. She's the chiefess over the Gullah Geechee Nation here in South Carolina, which stems from Wilmington, North Carolina, all the way up to Jacksonville, Florida. Even when you go to her site, she's saying that, they are up under major reconstruction right now as well. So when you speak of nations, you see what I'm saying? I'm falling up under the nation of the Gullah Geechee people because we have our own flag. You see what I'm saying? And there's only two entities on this continent, at least in the northern hemisphere, that call themselves a nation, and that's the Nation of Islam and the Gullah Geechee people, which a lot of people don't know about the Gullah Geechee people.
Right.
Here in the South. Yeah, go ahead, baby. Go ahead.
Now.
And so what I'm referring to, you see what I'm saying? If you claiming this and claim that, hey, I'm not saying not claiming it. I'm only one voice. So we have to set up our own system where we have several chief elders, and we have scribes, you see what I'm saying, that do the dictation, and then we can go ahead and set a better standard as far as economics and healthcare and everything up under one umbrella, and then we can agree to say, because we all from different tribes, basically. not nations. We from different tribes. But we can start from Ethiopia and Kemet and then work our way forward to see exactly where the lies and the misconceptions has came in at. You see what I'm saying?
Now,
because if we're going to claim something, I'd rather be the original than a copy, or at least part of the original. So I can say, well, this is where my bloodline traces back, because my bloodline traces from West Africa to Sierra Leone, from Sierra Leone to the shores of Charleston. You see what I'm saying? And that was a tribe of Gullah Geechee people.
Elder,
so that's me.
Let me say this to
you. So for everyone else, they have to do extensive research. And I know a lot of information has been tainted or destroyed in the Library of Alexandria, but there's still a way. And no, I'm not going to endorse Ancestry.com because there's some crooked stuff going on with that. You see what I'm saying? But for now, for keepsake, I'm just trying to help awaken our people so we can start seeking.
Now, let me say this.
You see what I'm saying? Because
hold on, Elder.
At the end of the day, yes, sir.
One of the things that I would suggest you do is that when you say you're a chief elder, you need to say that you are a chief elder under the ranks of the Gullah Geechee people, because the National Council of Elders, they don't even recognize. I don't even see you on their site.
That site that's on Facebook, the Council of Elders, they not even together.
I know.
Any longer.
I've been with a group.
So let me put that out of there.
But you still using them to validate who you are as a chief elder. Like I said.
No, I'm not using. No. Let me correct that. No, I'm not using them to validate nothing because I don't need validation.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So just like what you're saying, maybe I should have been a little bit more clear.
Right, because let me say, like for example,
Gullah Geechee people.
For example, with us, like for example, with the family I roll with, chief elder is some serious shit. When you hear chief elder, that's some serious shit. So I have to look, I have to be able to be like, boom, where's the connection here? So when I asked you for clarification about why you should be called chief elder, you gave this group. Now I'm not even on the Facebook page no more. I'm on nationalcouncilofelders.com. And I'm looking at it, and I'm seeing a mixed group, and like it's only two of them I recognize on here: Eugene Elder Gus and Marion Wright Elderman. That I know, that my elders have provided for me to, in a sense, meet with and to run with in some form of fashion, right? Now it could be some other ones, but what I was trying to tell you,
it's the one that.
But what I was trying to tell you,
by what's his name, Wesley Kalbila.
Wesley Kalbila.
Yeah, Brother Wesley. Yeah. That's the one that I served up under. Until, just like I said before, I find out that there were some things that was going on.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want to be a part of it. So I stepped down.
Right.
And the people that was following me, you see what I'm saying, that came with me, that helped form that, they all left too.
Mm-hmm. Now.
So we don't have a website.
So now, when you say, because this is all I'm trying to get to, Elder. You say that you fall up under the Gullah Geechee Nation. It would be better for you to just use that if they have recognized you as chief elder, because right now, it's subject for me. I can't call you chief elder.
I feel you.
You understand what I'm saying? And then on top of that, being chief elder.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then being chief elder at 59, I mean, it's like you done cracked some heads and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I did. Because I know an elder, I think they said it runs from 80 something to something in order to be a chief elder. I'm well aware of that. But until they can point someone else to do what they need to be done, then the next person in place, they have to step up.
All right.
You know.
Now check
So
this out.
it's better to have somebody than don't have no one at all.
I hear you.
Then we'd be shooting back in the dark.
But here we go. Check this out. I want to read this to you. Say, Council of Elders, Greensboro Declaration. This is from the National Council of Elders website. We are the National Council of Elders. We are veterans of the civil rights, women's, peace, environmental, LGBTQ, immigrant justice, labor rights, and other movements of the last 60 years. We have come together in Greensboro, the birthplace of the sit-in movements in 1960s, to birth a movement that can share the torch of freedom, justice, peace, and nonviolent action with those who have risen anew in the 21st century. Now, actually, this may be the group that Elder Harry put together, because before he called the gathering together, he met with a group of elders. But I don't know. I don't know if this is, because I see Elder Gus up in there. But that's what you use to identify. But hold on, we have a sister up online that's been waiting patiently, and I'm probably sure Sister Shelly you want to share something, or you want to join the conversation? You've been patient, girl. You're supposed to be breaking in like me. Come on now, you know how we do it at Gye-Nyame. You've been around this long.
Well, I mean, it's not my piece, and I wanted to give respect, to, he says that he's an elder, and him being an elder, I just wanted to kind of let him have his time to talk. I figured you would get around to me at some point in time. It's a whole nother thing that, you said call in to talk about, what you're doing in the community. What's your work? What are you doing? And it really doesn't pertain to what you all are talking about.
In a sense it does. Yes, it does, because he's talking about what he's doing.
In a sense it does.
Right.
I was going to say something similar. In a sense, it's relative, but in terms of what I have to say today, it really is regarding just talking about what work I'm doing in the community. And I thought that there would be several people that would be calling in to talk. So I just assumed I was just one of those people. But I don't want to change the subject.
No.
So if you all want to go ahead, I can wait.
No, the floor is yours, sis. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, sister.
Okay. So in terms of what I'm doing in the community, I started several different businesses because I couldn't do what I do under just one. And so I wanted to build a separator for myself so that I could, more of a focal point to be able to navigate the work between several businesses, which became a conglomerate, which I believe that we need to build conglomerates more often in the Black community, because we really, sometimes we do a lot of one-stop shop type stuff, and what it does is it can prevent us from focusing our attention on whichever things we need to focus on, at whichever times we need to focus on. We can have more than one thing going on under one business, but I think a lot of times we have too many things going on, and all of them are very, very different. And don't necessarily fit under the same category. So I think the first thing that I'd like to talk about is the investors group that I started. Right now, I just started the investors group. April, I started putting together the ideas and the structure for how the investors group would work. And I wanted to bring in my piece. Most of the people in the community here in Columbus, Ohio, know that my piece is boys and young men. I really, really have a passion to work with boys and young men. And I really respect the work that you do, Brother Hatem, because I know you work with a lot of boys and young men, children period, but boys and young men. And so I started the investors group with because I have a running relationship with colleges and universities across the country. My whole thing is to bridge the educational gap, to reroute our children from the attempt to place them in the school to prison pipeline, where they would have no life, versus, you know, something that can help educate them, where there are some structures that can take them more than just through the knowledge of self, but also the ability to begin to master themselves. And I deal a lot with Black Studies programs in these colleges and universities. And again, young men in these colleges and universities. So we're bridging the educational gap from middle school and high school boys and young men to the colleges. So we're actually uniting the two. And our program is not set up at public schools. It's set up at colleges and universities. So that's one of the things that I'm doing. Now, the investors group, what I did was brought in, we started off with just 5 young men, and they were all college-age young men. All of them have either graduated or are still in college. Now we have 20, and I started the paperwork in April. By May, really at the end of April, I had all the paperwork done and the structure, the basic structure set up. Basically, none of those young men are really investing. We call it investing for the sake of them beginning to understand what the process is from the get-go. Before they are out in the world completely, that they understand what it means to invest. Okay, but how do you teach someone something that they have no premises and no foundation for? And that's one of the things that I realize is going on in the Black community. We talk about redistribution of wealth, but most of us have no idea what redistribution of wealth is. And if you ask probably a good, third of the population of Black, the Black community, if you ask them what redistribution of wealth is or what they're doing to redistribute wealth, they might tell you that they're bartering or that they buy goods and services that are not necessities and that are also not operating on a manufacturing basis in terms of the goods. So they're not a necessity and they're not operating in terms of mass manufacture. One of the things that I realize is that if we're not going to manufacture things, what ends up happening is we have a small group of people, which is important. Don't get me wrong. It's important to start there. It's important to start at the bartering and that's important. That's powerful. But also we have to move very fast. And I like to call it the principle of rapid development, which is a principle in the game of chess, which is basically everything that I operate from is from the perspective of chess. So in this perspective, we're looking at the operational mode where the pieces are bound by the pawns on the board, which are the least valuable pieces on the board according to the game of chess. So all of the pieces behind it are bound to the pawns because they cannot move until the pawns move.
Right.
They're locked in. So the principle of rapid development allows each opponent to devise a plan with which to open up the game. And the principle of rapid development means to move your pieces out fast. Now, one of the things is that the pawn moves one space at a time and catches one space at a time. He moves forward only and catches on the diagonal only. So what happens is, at the beginning of the game, the only pieces on the board that can do this, because of the fact that they're blocking in the whole entire army, so is the pawn. They can move 2 spaces on their first move out, just their first move. They can move 2 spaces instead of 1. So what that does is it allows the game to move more swiftly. And I think we need to adopt principles like that in the community, and I've adopted that into the project that I'm working on, so that we can begin to swiftly move. So that's why I started the investors group. Now, I knew I wasn't ready to launch to the greater community, the greater Black community, but I knew that I could bring in sort of a test market community. So what I did is I thought about it. I said, well, expecting people who just don't understand the principles to operate and invest, and they really don't have the money, to tell you the truth, which we deal with that in the community. How are we going to do this? We have the most buying power in the world, but changing the minds of our community not to buy outside of our community is a whole nother thing. Again, if we're not mass producing and we're not operating on a high level business-wise, you're talking about small business, which really means limited business in terms of what we need across the board. So I started thinking about it. Well, in order to have something that you never had, you got to do something that you've never done. I decided to do something that I've never done. You can't go to the stock market or anywhere else and put some money up and know that you're going to get that money back. There's no guarantee, so you're going to deal with ebbs and flows in the market. You're going to deal with the balance of the fact that you may be operating from a very limited base in terms of how much financial gains you can make based on how much investment money you can actually put forth on a particular stock that actually has more development in terms of its ability to yield high finances. So what I started thinking about is I'm not going to do the capitalistic thing. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do something that will change the mind of the people that view what I did with this test market. So now we have 20 young men in the investors group. We started off with 5. And they're on their second investment plan now. And all I'm doing literally is giving money away. They are literally, they receive 100%. The first guys that came in, the first group, they would invest, there were 5 levels, 300, 500, 700, 900, and 1,000. Those were the 5 levels. So they would come in, they would invest, and when they would invest, I gave them 100% return on their investment money. The second thing that I did was also gave them 100% profit on their investment money, which means I'm not making any money. It's not about that. It's about getting the minds of our young men prepared for something that is greater than the mealy mouth stuff that we've been handed and that we just keep tossing around like it's a hot potato. And now it's not even a hot potato anymore. I mean, it's been several hundred years. It's not a hot potato anymore. At best, it's a hot potato flake, which means it's not even a real potato. So what we're doing is changing the minds of our young people. We're also inserting ourselves in a healthy position to show them what kind of value they can financially have in order to begin to be a viable force on the earth, in order to begin to understand what it looks like. What does it feel like? What does it feel? It feels scary to put your money out there and you don't know what's going to happen to it.
Right, now question.
But it's very invigorating when you actually reap the benefits back from that money and you see, oh, whoa, okay, so the one that may have invested $300 got $600 back.
But what?
The one that invested
sister.
$500 got $1,000 back. The one that invested $900 got $1,800 back, and the one that invested $1,000 got $2,000 back.
Now, but this is the question. So hold on, this is the question. What investment vehicle were you using that you were able to give 100% return?
The investment vehicle, that's why I said in the beginning, it's really not investment, but as so to train our young men, number one, to understand what what are these terms? What does this mean? What is all of this stuff? How does this system work? The first barrier that had to be broken down is distrust, the barrier of distrust.
But
because black people, we have an issue, all of us, on some level.
I think
we're
all
putting
people
our
have
money out.
Right.
So
all people have that issue. It ain't just us. It's because we know.
Oh, I'm not saying they do, but I'm not working for all people. I'm working for black people.
So the question is,
the work that I do doesn't have anything to do with any other
anybody
people.
else.
Now,
I hear you. But
it's not even, this investors group will never be promoted to any other
I understand.
cultures. It's just black people that I'm working with.
To keep it afloat, like for example, to give 100% return in what amount of time?
Well, there are different plans, and they're all short-term investments. So, for instance, our guys came in April. They invested in July. They received their first fulfillment was done, and they were going into their second investment plan. Now, their second investment plan wasn't 100%. Now, it's still 100% return on their money, but now the next lesson is in place. This isn't about me profiting. That's the thing about it.
But it shouldn't be about
not
you losing.
about me immediate.
But it shouldn't be about you losing either, because if you are able to guarantee these boys.
Well, it's not. You're right. You're absolutely right. It shouldn't be about me losing, and it's not. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
Because every step of the way, the principles that I'm teaching, you're talking about people who are completely dumb to finances. They don't learn finances from kindergarten all the way through college. Okay? They don't learn anything about how to do the things in the real world. Everything that they're learning is so that they can get a job.
Right.
Working for corporate white America. Okay, so the point isn't, I get what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. It isn't about me not getting anything. The plan from the get-go was, again, in order to have something that is you, me? Yeah, you is me, but you is really us. To have something that you never had, you've got to do something that you've never done. So what was missing? I look for the missing spaces and things. What is missing? What is it that we're not focused on? Okay, we're focused on discrimination. We're focused on posting up all these images of people getting beat down in a puddle of blood. You know, what are we not focusing on? What is the betwixt and between, in between these polar opposites that we seem to be trained by Europeanism to operate in? What is betwixt and between in those other realms, those other dimensional realms, that I can reach into the ancestry that I belong to, and I can pull some things out because they're willing to communicate with me. And so what I started seeing was, it's that the trust needs to be built up. And how do you build that trust up? They're already trained not to trust black people. And you're right, it's a problem across the board with us. And I'm very, very serious about agreeing on that. So the point isn't for me to gain right now. One of the biggest issues within the community that I feel that we all, and I include myself in that because we is a part of us, is that we don't have enough planning time. Planning time should be anywhere from a year to 5 years. That's how we became enslaved. That's how we got the Bible. That's how we got inundated with Europeanism. That's how we became minorities, so-called minorities. The whole thing is, it's a process. It's a whole planning process. So to start, it isn't about me profiting from it. This is an area of business that right this minute, I'm not trying to profit from it because I want to use my scruples in a way that's a little bit more long-term. So giving them short-term returns on their money. So that, their money might work for them for 2 months and pay out to them for 2 months. It might work for them for 3 months and pay. The lowest period of time is 2 months, and then the payouts begin. And then the largest amount of time is 4 months, and then the payout begins, because we have a new plan we're getting ready to launch to the greater community, the greater Black community, and that's a different plan. But in order to train our youth, our young men, so that they can begin to understand what financial terminology is, because see, if we don't know what's being talked about in the world, beginning to be viable and having the ability to lobby financially is going to need to be backed up by the fact that we have some financial knowledge. So it means that otherwise we won't know what language is being spoken.
Right.
So it's about teaching them the terminology, teaching them to be unafraid, letting them feel what it feels like to actually reap back money. And they know that it's a staged situation. I'm very honest about that from the very beginning. It's a staged situation, but the point is for them to get excited about it, for them to get excited about residual income, more than one investment at one time, more than, these residual payments that are coming out. It's about that. It's about the teaching process. This is not about me making money off of it. Everything is not about making money for me in business. But some things are about the development aspect.
But the question I'm asking is, what vehicle are you using that you can give them 100% in 4 months?
My pocket. My pocket. I have a saving that I put away money in that saving in order to be able to do this. So it's something that I plan for.
So you're giving them money.
I'm giving them money.
Okay, I mean,
that's a hard principle to teach Black people. Especially the microwave children, which is our young people.
That's a hard principle to teach anybody, because what you're saying is that you're taking their money, you're holding their money, and at the end of your process, which the longest one I heard you say was 4 months, you would turn around and pull money up out of your livelihood to give them double what they put in.
I think, I think that's a mistake what you're saying, because I don't think that you're understanding.
I'm not.
It's not about that. It's not about that this is what goes on in the long term. It's about that this is the beginning. You can look at these young men, from more of an older man perspective. These are young guys who haven't really gotten out in the world and really know what it's about. Okay? So it's about teaching them specific principles. Every principle won't be taught in this particular part of the process. Now, every plan that they go into, there's a new aspect of something that I'm introducing. And it's to bring them out of the baby stage and into the mature stage of investing. So the point is to teach the principles.
But you're not teaching investment.
Every principle is not taught in this stage. Every principle is not taught in this stage. The first thing that they're learning. And I have sons. I only have sons.
But that's
not
investment.
Grown now. The only principle.
You're not teaching investment.
Can I chime in for a second? Can I chime in for a second? Because I'm getting ready to take off and I got to check out something else. First, I want to say, sister, I definitely congratulate you and honor all your efforts and ability. I see that you are invested in our youth, and in return, you reaping more than benefits. And I congratulate you. Yes, because see, you're not looking at materialism. You're not looking at wealth. Your plain principle is to teach and educate our youth to be self-sufficient. So if I can get your contact information, and because I think you got, matter of fact, from what you are speaking to, you got a great, awesome role model project that you had created yourself. You didn't get this from somebody else that's trying to do something else. You created this because you are a goddess. And this is what the ancestor had put in your spirit to do. So if I can get your contact information, and then we can share emails, and then we can definitely link up, because this can fall upon the economic development, because we have to. We have to educate our youth.
Whoa. Hey, stop for a second. Giving away money cannot fall up under financial development.
Okay, well, this is the first thing that I want to say, brother.
That is not economic development.
My telephone number is 614-260-6553. That's 614-260-6553, and we can start there. So to answer to reply to your statement, Brother Hatem, that's the thing about it is, you know, I raised my son from the ground up by myself. And the one thing that I'm very clear about is what they're missing. And some of it was not stuff that I could give them. Some of it they had to get from a man.
Right.
But the one thing that I knew is I could raise them to be men. I just couldn't take them any further than over the threshold into manhood. Couldn't take them any further. I needed men around them.
Right.
And so one of the things that I think that a lot of times we miss in a day and age where everything is about a debate. You know, everything is not about a debate, and it's certainly not about a debate for me, because I didn't ask anybody to give me the money to do it.
Right.
And I don't have any excuses to make, because I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Okay.
And when I look at them, they call me all the time. They talk to me. There's so much involvement. I was already at the colleges and universities.
Right.
So they knew me before. But when I'm looking at these young men, and I'm looking at when they got their first check, they wanted to take pictures, but they wanted to take pictures behind the sign. You know, when we first got our checks, you know, when they saw the checkbook and we opened up the checkbook and they were like, oh, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And it had the name on it, you know. All of these things are steps that I wanted them to see what it looks like to start a business.
So, all right, cool. Then what was the business? Hello? Maybe my computer froze. Hello? Unbelievable. All right, hold on.
Terms of everything having to be built from a perspective that they put forth, which is upside down from what we gave them in the first place.
Now,
so it wouldn't be affecting us so negatively.
Hold on. I got kicked out of my own conference call, and I missed almost. I missed almost all that. I was like, because the question I asked was, "What's the business?" Because, all right, forget the investment. You said you wanted them to feel.
No, the question it wasn't a question. You made a statement that I was responding to.
Okay, cool. And
the statement that you made was referring to. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
Oh, okay. The statement that I was referring to that you made was that how are you? I don't know the exact words, but was something to the effect
how is it an investment when you giving them money?
How are you making money?
No,
I'm not doing this.
No. You going back to your point, because you keep going back to how you're not making money, and I can dig that. My question is,
I don't feel like I'm not making money.
Well, hold on. How is it an investment?
Okay.
If you are giving them money? How is that an investment or a business?
In the beginning, the first thing that I said was that it's really, and I went into elaborate explanation, and I said it twice. It's not actually an investment, but for the sake of understanding where we're going with this training, I use that term, because when they are actually not receiving, the profit the way that they're receiving it now, when it is based on real ebbs and flows, then it will be that they're investing. Right now, it's just training, and sometimes it's good to just allow people to be where they are. It might not be something that you or somebody else would do, but I didn't ask for any permission to do it, right? Because I already have the permission from the universe. Really, you don't even have to explain it, because it's your piece. Coming from out of my pocket, right? So I want to enrich my community, and I understand what it is. What'd you say? My issue is you. Let me say this. By you giving away, see, because I don't know for all I know, you could be a millionaire. So maybe you got it to give away. But a majority of people that might be listening to this and want to duplicate what you're doing, a majority of us would not be able to double a person's investment out of our pocket. And that's okay. I mean, I understand that. But what I'm saying is that's okay. But you got to be kind of, because it's not really investment. It's not really a business. It's you sacrificing. I said that in the first of all. It's you sacrificing. First of all, it is a business. It's just that you don't have the foresight that I have in the business. It is a business. It's just that the business is starting with training. So what's the business? First. So what produces the income that they receive? What produces the return on their investment? Are you not listening to me? I'm not hearing it. Something wrong that? Yes. Maybe you're not hearing me. You're not hearing me. Let me say it again. Okay. No problem. Let me say it again. As I said from the very beginning, twice, this is the third time I'm saying this, it's not really an investment on their end, but we use that term so that they can begin to get in the mindset that there's money that there's giving up, which means that there has to be some system of trust to allow money to leave your hand to go somewhere else that you can't do anything with it other than wait for it to produce what it was contracted to produce. So that's the first thing, okay? This is not a game, it's not a trick, and it's about building trust. It's a trust exercise. The second thing is that I said this also before. I said this once before. We're starting with the training. It is about them learning what it feels like for the money to go away, but the money to bring back more money. It's about the trust from black person's hand to black person's hand. And the trust that this return comes back to them. Wow, they really did do this. Now there's a trust built. Now you go to the next stage and the profit is less profit. You go to the next stage and the profit is less profit. It's about training them. When a child is born, when a baby is born, that child has to nurse on mama's minnie for quite some time in order to receive everything that it needs to receive, in order to be stronger, in order to have a greater bond with mother, and then at the appointed time, mother decides, okay, it's time for you, to now begin to eat some baby food. And I'm going to puree some vegetables for you. We're going to start with this particular vegetable and this particular vegetable. So the baby develops the ability to now swallow on a different level. And then it gets a little bit chunkier. It's cooked, but it's a little chunkier. And now the baby begins to chew and teeth begin to be more and more developed. It's about stages of development. And just like we talked about before, sometimes you got to go back to, because we want to jump ahead. Well, the reason why people have these really whacked out spending habits is because they never really learned how to be healthy in the home first. In the home, they didn't learn how to be healthy financially. And so some of these, while it may seem strange to someone, you may have much more financial knowledge, but I'm dealing with young men that have no financial health. They are not understanding the principles, and they're not taught that. Families aren't teaching that anymore. Your generation might have been the last generation. Our generation might have been, and many of us missed the boat on that one. We didn't receive that training. And so it's about teaching healthy sustenance to actually give over. I know I'm giving. Okay, they feel like they're investing. That's the point. Now, as we grow, now they understand, well, this actually, just like the baby, oh, that milk actually came from mother's nitty. Now the baby is not constantly looking all over the place. Every time mother moves, they're looking at mother's breast because that's their source of food. Now, mother is warming stuff up in the kitchen and baby is going to eat some of the same foods that mother is eating. Now the baby is looking at mother in the kitchen only. When she goes to the kitchen, it's almost time to eat, And so these developments help our young people develop. And I've already pitched. There's a lot of colleges and universities that love what I'm doing, not because I'm giving money away, but because I'm willing to do something that really nobody wanted to do. It wasn't that anybody thought of it. I don't think that's the issue. I think that nobody really wanted to do because we always expect, I'm going to give you something, I'm going to get something back immediately. And that's not the way the universe operates. The universe does not always give us whatever back immediately. And to teach our children how to wait on a return. This is the microwave generations, what they call them. To teach our children how to give up that money, how to trust someone, to teach our children what kind of contract they should be seeing. Now, we can either build our world with the exact same constraints that have begun to be our down pressor, or we can build our community. I don't put fine writing in my contract, and they're simple contracts, because the point is, I agree to do this, you agree to do this. I agree to do this, you agree to do this. I agree to do this on this date, I agree to do this much on this date. I agree to do these things on these dates. I agree to do this on this date. Okay, and then you sign and date it. It doesn't have to be something where there's so many hidden agendas, and this is really coming from the place of mother. Now, not everybody has mother in them on the level that I do, or someone else does, or some other brother has a greater aspect of mother within his being, because we all have the dual aspects of male and female. My name is Woe Man. I don't have to answer to anybody. I'm answering these questions because I want you to know that the place that I'm coming from is from a very loving place. It's from a very nurturing place. It's from a very stable place. And it's from a very contributive place. Now, are there bumps in the road? Of course there are. That's in anything that you do, though. I prepared for most of the bumps. I really haven't seen anything that I didn't expect. And I made sure that I had certain securities in place. It wasn't like somebody could just run off and, I'm done. No, they had the contract to do more than one investment. And so, and that was to make sure that they continue to learn, so it is what it is, and they're growing. They love it. Of course, they love the fact that they were receiving. That was a one-time thing. I did 100% profit. It's not that, as I said before, it's not that every time they invest in another plan, they get 100% profit. It's that we're getting lower and lower in terms of their percentage of return. They still get 100% return on their money, but they don't get 100% profit anymore. They already knew from the beginning that was going to change. They knew what it was going to change to be. It's about transparency for me. And that is the way that they deal with me, through transparency. A lot of people have just written them off like they're not old enough, they're not mature enough, they're old enough to learn this. But somebody just has to dig deep enough within themselves in order to do it. And I wanted to be that person, and I'm really enjoying, and I can see their growth. And they're talking about Well, by the time I get to my third plan, they didn't have to do that. They could have stopped it too. I'm done. I got what I wanted. But that's not the spirit with which I didn't serve them anything with a stingy ass spirit. What I served them with love. Now, don't get me wrong, because I don't play. And all of them know she will get with you. You know, so they understand that, but it's about love. It's about respect, you know, and it's about understanding that there's more that we can do when we do it together. You know, so these are groups of young men that are coming together, and, you know, it's amazing. They're amazing. There's all kinds of stuff. They're like, you know, well, can I do this, or can I do this? And, you know, I want to be a part of this, and can, you know, other things that I'm doing, other businesses. There's 7 businesses that I started between April and May.
All right, now hold on. We are at the we at 130 minutes. I am going to have to go on and shut the show down because I got to do some stuff with my kids, and also I got some other stuff I have to do. I want to thank Sister Shelly I for calling in. I want to thank Elder Henry.
I hope you enjoyed what my answers were too.
Yeah, I mean, we gonna talk a little bit more because I got some. But you don't have to answer the question. I'm just throwing them out there. You know what I'm saying? Because my issue is I have to look out for my family, because what goes on is sometimes we can be so giving that it kind of defeats what we're trying to do, especially. But if you got a method for making sure that you're able to take care of yourself in the process of giving, then that's what I'm trying to see. But here it is. If it's working for you, family, keep it going. Keep up the good work. But I want to thank Sister Davida for calling in, and everybody that's been commenting. I want to make sure that y'all know that you are now standing in the congregation of the mighty, the home of the stubborn minority, the place where your hustle builds muscle. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Of course, you know that this is a Heart of a Simba production, and we have done another daily Toast and Talk, and we will be here tomorrow about the same time doing our Toast and Talk. This is our weekend. This is our weekend toasting. Of course, you know, it's a Heart of a Simba production. And we don't do nothing here but strive to blow up your old paradigm. All right, there's one more thing I'm looking for before I get off of here. I was telling y'all.
Thank you, Brother Hatem.
Thank you.
Enjoyed.
Thank you. Here we go. Let's do that.
We'll talk soon.
Yes, ma'am. So, y'all, we need to get this up to 1,000 views. Right there should have been Storm 9000. I don't know why he took that shit out. That shit was fly. Alright, fam, I'm out. Well, thank you for listening to Gye-Nyame Journey. You just right now goddamn listening. I'm in an 80-bed Storm 9000 frame of mind once again. Rashawn by the Black Airbenders. This brother Tim, I'm out.